Hello, beautiful souls. I need to share this message immediately. My guides are being extremely persistent about getting this out to whoever needs to hear it. The energy coming through right now is so powerful. I literally got chills as I sat down to channel this reading. There's something really significant happening in the spiritual realm right now, especially for my divine feminine viewers. I'm being shown very clearly that there are three distinct masculine energies that have become intensely focused on your light. What's fascinating is that you're completely unaware of how brightly your energy is shining right now. I keep seeing this image of a lighthouse, but it's like you're inside the lighthouse, not realizing how far your light is reaching or who it's calling to. The guides are showing me that many of you have been feeling unusually tired lately, maybe even drained, and there's been this sense of confusion about why. Some of you might be experiencing more vivid dreams than usual, or finding yourself thinking about love and relationships more frequently, even if you weren't particularly focused on that before. I'm also seeing the number 323 very strongly. This number keeps flashing in my vision as I'm channeling this message. What's really interesting is that I'm feeling this powerful nurturing energy around you. It's like you've been in this space of really taking care of everyone else, always putting others first. And while you might think this has gone unnoticed, it's actually elevated your spiritual frequency in a really profound way. The universe is noticing, and more importantly, these three specific masculine energies are being drawn to this beautiful, nurturing light that you're emanating. I'm getting such strong confirmation right now about the timing of this message. There's this sense that you've been feeling pulled in different directions lately, maybe feeling uncertain about which path to take or which inner voice to listen to. The energy I'm picking up shows this intense period of waiting and self-doubt is actually coming to an end. But there's something really important you need to understand about these connections that are forming. The Empress energy is so strong around you right now. And as I tune into this frequency, I'm seeing how it's creating this beautiful ripple effect in the spiritual realm. I'm actually getting intense chills right now as I connect more deeply with this first masculine energy that's being drawn to your light. The King of Pentacles energy is coming through so strongly. This is someone who carries themselves with such a grounded, stable presence. What's fascinating is how perfectly this energy complements the Empress energy we were just talking about. I need to pause for a moment because I'm getting such a clear download about this. Many of you have been stepping into this really beautiful leadership role lately, but in such a subtle way that you might not even realize it's happening. I'm seeing scenes of people coming to you for advice, maybe at work or in your friend group. You might have noticed more and more people starting to lean on you for guidance, but you're kind of brushing it off like it's no big deal. But here's what's really interesting. This King of Pentacles energy is showing me that while you've been focused on nurturing and supporting others, you've actually been developing this really powerful sage-like wisdom. It's almost like you've been unknowingly apprenticing for a role you didn't even know you were preparing for. The guides are showing me that some of you might have recently had thoughts about starting a business, or maybe you've been getting ideas about how to turn your natural gifts into something more substantial. I'm also seeing this really beautiful connection between the Three of Cups we pulled earlier and your current situation. You know how the Three of Cups often represents celebration and community? Well, it's showing up here in such an interesting way. It's like these three masculine energies are actually forming a kind of spiritual council around you. They're each bringing different elements that you need for your next phase of growth. The Lover's card is really interesting in this context too. I'm getting such strong confirmation that this isn't just about romantic choices. It's about recognizing your own value and power. Some of you might have been feeling really uncertain about stepping into a more authoritative role, maybe even feeling like you're not qualified or ready, but I'm hearing so clearly that this self-doubt is actually a sign that you're right on track. I keep seeing this image of someone counting money, but it's not really about the money itself. It's more about recognizing your worth and understanding that your spiritual gifts have real tangible value. Some of you might have recently had opportunities come up where you could help others in a more formal way, but you've been hesitating because it feels strange to accept compensation for something that comes so naturally to you. This King of Pentacles energy is really encouraging you to break through that barrier. I'm getting such strong guidance about the importance of creating a stable foundation for your gifts to flourish. It's like this masculine energy is showing up specifically to help you understand that your spiritual capabilities and your material success don't have to be separate. They can actually support and enhance each other. I'm feeling such a strong protective energy coming from this king energy too. It's almost like he's been watching you grow and develop, seeing your potential, even when you've been doubting yourself. There's this sense that he's been quietly supporting your progress from behind the scenes. And now the energy is building to a point where this connection is about to become more apparent. And now as I'm sitting with this King of Pentacles energy, there's another masculine presence that's coming through so strongly, I can barely focus on anything else. The Knight of Wands just jumped out of the deck, and wow, the energy shift is incredible. Where that first masculine had this steady, grounding protection, this one brings this amazing, passionate, adventurous energy that feels like a wildfire, but in the most beautiful way. I'm getting such clear guidance that this second masculine energy is being pulled to your light in a totally different way. While the King of Pentacles wants to build you that stable foundation, this Knight of Wands energy is all about protecting your spirit, your creativity, your wild dreams. I'm literally feeling butterflies in my stomach as I connect with this energy. It's like they want to make sure you never lose that spark, that magic that makes you so uniquely you. What's really interesting is how these two masculine energies are working together, even though they're so different. The guides are showing me this image of a garden. The King of Pentacles is building the walls and making sure the soil is rich, while the Knight of Wands is making sure the wildflowers have space to grow between the carefully planned rows. It's such a beautiful balance. I need to pause for a moment because I'm getting such strong validation signs for some of you. Have you been feeling this weird urge lately to rearrange your living space, maybe buying plants out of nowhere or suddenly wanting to paint your walls? That's actually these protective energies working through you, helping you create a space that supports both stability and creative freedom. The Empress energy we saw earlier, your divine feminine essence, it's like it's conducting this whole spiritual symphony. You're calling in exactly what your soul needs right now. Some of you might have noticed you're suddenly attracted to different types of people than usual, or finding yourself in conversations about topics you never used to care about. That's because your spirit is expanding, and these masculine energies are responding to that growth. I'm getting such strong chills right now because the guides are showing me something really important. Some of you have been feeling almost guilty about needing different types of support from different people. Like, you should be able to get everything you need from one source. But they're saying that's old programming falling away. Your soul is too big, too complex for just one type of protective energy. You might have noticed recently that you're drawn to different leadership styles at work, or finding yourself appreciating people who approach life totally differently than you do. That's your spirit recognizing these different protective frequencies. The King of Pentacles brings that steady, reliable protection, while this Knight of Wands energy protects your right to change, to explore, to follow your passion. What's really fascinating is how your aura is actually calling in these specific energies without you even trying. It's like your soul knows exactly what it needs for the next phase of your journey. I'm seeing this image of a lighthouse, but instead of one beam, it's sending out different colors of light, each one attracting exactly the right kind of protection you need. The guides want you to know that this isn't about choosing between these energies. It's about allowing yourself to receive different types of support and protection as you continue to grow. Your expanding light is naturally drawing in exactly what you need, even if your conscious mind doesn't understand it yet. And just when I thought we were done with these powerful masculine energies showing up, there's another presence making itself known so strongly. The King of Swords has just appeared, and I'm literally getting goosebumps all over my arms. This is incredible. We now have this perfect triangle of protection forming around you. Let me explain what I'm seeing, because this is so powerful. Remember how we had that grounding King of Pentacles energy providing that stable foundation, and the passionate Knight of Wands protecting your spirit. Now, this King of Swords is stepping in as this amazing mental protector. He's like this wise teacher energy, but there's something so different about how he shows up. I'm being shown this image of you sitting at a desk, maybe journaling or working, and feeling this sudden rush of clarity. That's this King of Swords energy working with you. Have you noticed lately that you're able to see through confusion more easily? Maybe you're finding yourself giving really good advice to friends, or suddenly understanding things that used to puzzle you. That's this protective energy helping you cut through mental fog. What's really fascinating is how these three masculine energies are working together. The guides are showing me this perfect triangle formation around you. It's like each one is standing at a different point, creating this complete protection system. The King of Pentacles is protecting your physical world and resources. The Knight of Wands is guarding your passion and spirit. And now this King of Swords is watching over your mind and wisdom. I need to pause because I'm getting such strong confirmation signs for some of you. Have you been feeling drawn to learn new things lately? Maybe picking up books on topics you never cared about before, or finding yourself deep in conversations about life's bigger questions. That's this King of Swords energy drawing you toward greater wisdom. The guides want me to tell you something really important. They're showing me this image of a three-legged stool. Each of these masculine energies is like one of those legs. You need all three to have perfect balance. Some of you might have been feeling pulled in different directions lately. Like you can't decide whether to be practical, follow your passion, or pursue knowledge. Now I understand why. You're not meant to choose. You're meant to embrace all three of these protective energies. I'm seeing this really clear message for someone specific. You've been feeling guilty about being interested in multiple things at once, like you should just pick one path and stick to it. The guides are saying that's not how your journey is meant to work. Your soul is calling in this triple protection precisely because you need all these different aspects to fulfill your purpose. The energy is shifting now, and I'm seeing how these three masculine energies create different kinds of clarity. The King of Pentacles helps you see clearly in the physical world, like making smart decisions about money or career. The Knight of Wands gives you clarity about your passions and purpose. And this King of Swords, he's helping you see the truth in situations, helping you trust your own wisdom. What's really beautiful is how your divine feminine energy, remember that Empress energy we talked about earlier, is actually conducting this whole spiritual symphony. You're not just randomly attracting these protective energies. Your soul is calling them in with perfect divine timing, creating exactly the support system you need for this next phase of your journey. And you know what's really fascinating about how your feminine energy is orchestrating all of this? I'm being guided to pull another card for deeper clarity. And wow, the High Priestess has just appeared. This is such powerful confirmation of everything we've been discussing. Your intuition is growing stronger by the day, even if you might not fully realize it yet. You see, while these three masculine energies we talked about, the practical King of Pentacles, the passionate Knight of Wands, and the wise King of Swords are all gathering to protect you, it's actually your inner knowing, your High Priestess energy, that's calling them forward. Some of you have been feeling extra sensitive lately, maybe even a bit overwhelmed by how much you're picking up from others. That's this High Priestess energy awakening. I'm getting such a strong message for someone specific right now. You've been having these moments where you just know things without knowing how you know them. Like maybe you've been thinking about someone and they call, or you get this feeling to take a different route home and later find out you avoided a big traffic jam. These aren't coincidences. This is your natural wisdom growing stronger. The guides are showing me this beautiful image of how these energies are working together. Remember that King of Pentacles energy we talked about earlier? He's still there, still providing that grounded stability, but now I'm seeing how he's actually helping you trust your physical intuition. You know, those gut feelings about practical matters. Have you noticed you're making better decisions about money or work lately? That's this energy at work. And that fiery Knight of Wands energy, he's helping you trust your passionate impulses, those moments when you just know you need to take action. But here's what's really interesting. The King of Swords energy is helping you understand why you're having these intuitive hits. It's like he's translating your inner knowing into clear thoughts and ideas. I'm being shown that some of you have been feeling pulled to protect or guide others lately. Maybe you found yourself giving really good advice or feeling this strong urge to help someone, even if they haven't asked for help. That's because as your intuition grows stronger, your natural ability to mentor others is also growing. These three masculine energies aren't just protecting you, they're teaching you how to protect others. The guides want me to tell you something really important. They're showing me this image of a door slowly opening. Behind it is all this knowledge you already have, wisdom you've carried from past lives. These masculine energies aren't actually teaching you anything new. They're helping you remember what you already know. That's why things might feel familiar even when you're learning something new. Some of you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of this spiritual growth. The guides want you to know that's completely normal. They're showing me that this stress you've been feeling, it's actually activating these protective energies even more strongly. It's like your spiritual security system is powering up exactly when you need it most. And you know what's really powerful about this spiritual security system that's activating? The Hierophant just appeared in our spread, and this is such an important message about the deeper meaning behind all of this protection. This card is showing me that you're not just being protected, you're being prepared for something bigger. You're being taught, but in a really unique way. I need to share something that just came through so strongly. You've been feeling this pull lately to learn new things, right? Maybe you've been drawn to books you wouldn't normally read, or finding yourself clicking on videos about topics you never cared about before. That's not random at all. Each of these three masculine energies we've been talking about is actually teaching you in their own special way. Remember that King of Pentacles energy we discussed? He's been teaching you about value, not just money, but your own worth. Some of you have recently started standing up for yourself more, especially in situations where you used to just go along with what everyone else wanted. That's his influence. He's showing you how to be grounded and firm like a tree with deep roots. Now that fiery Knight of Wands energy, he's teaching you something completely different. I'm getting such a strong message about independence. Have you noticed yourself feeling more confident about trying new things lately? Maybe taking some risks you wouldn't have taken before? That's his energy working with you. He's teaching you that it's okay to be bold, to take up space. But here's what's really interesting, that King of Swords energy is doing something really special. He's helping you understand all of these lessons on a deeper level. It's like he's the translator helping you make sense of everything you're learning. Some of you might have noticed you're explaining things to others more clearly lately, or finding yourself giving really good advice. I'm being shown something really specific right now. There's someone in your life, someone you trust, who has information that's going to help you understand all of this better. They might not even know they have this information yet, but the guides are saying they're going to play a really important role in helping you see how all these pieces fit together. You know what's fascinating? As these energies work with you, you're becoming more adaptable. It's like you're learning to speak different languages, not actual languages, but different ways of understanding and connecting with people. Some days you might feel very practical and grounded. Other days more passionate and creative, and sometimes very mental and analytical. That's not you being inconsistent. That's you learning to work with all these different energies. The guides are showing me that some of you are starting to feel this urge to teach others what you're learning. Maybe you found yourself sharing wisdom you didn't even know you had. That's because as you're being taught, you're also being prepared to guide others. It's like you're in spiritual training, but not in the way most people think of spiritual training. This is much more practical, much more real world. And these synchronicities you've been seeing, especially around numbers or teaching moments, they're like little confirmations that you're on the right path. The guides want you to know that even when things feel confusing or overwhelming, there's a divine plan unfolding. Each of these masculine energies is helping you access different parts of your own wisdom that's always been there, but that you're only now ready to fully understand. And speaking of wisdom that's always been within you, I just pulled the Queen of Pentacles, and wow, this is such perfect timing because it shows exactly how you're stepping into this beautiful, nurturing energy. You know how lately you might have been feeling this urge to make your space more beautiful, maybe rearranging furniture or even just wanting to clean more than usual. That's this Queen's energy flowing through you, helping you create this safe, comfortable space, not just for yourself, but for all the spiritual work that's happening. I'm getting such a strong message about how these three masculine energies we've been discussing are actually helping you step more fully into your own power. It's like they're creating this perfect triangle of protection around you while you grow. Look at how this Queen of Pentacles sits so confidently with that coin in her lap. She knows her worth, and that's exactly what you're learning right now. When we look at her alongside the King of Pentacles that came up earlier, there's this beautiful mirror energy happening. He's been showing you how to hold your ground, right? But now, with the Queen showing up, it's like you're learning to do it in your own unique way. You might be noticing that you're getting better at saying no to things that don't feel right, but doing it with grace instead of guilt. I keep hearing the number 333 again, and it's so interesting because this keeps coming up as a sign of your guides really trying to get your attention. They're showing me that you might be having these really vivid dreams lately, especially about teaching or helping others. Some of you might even be waking up feeling like you received some kind of message, but you can't quite remember what it was. The Knight of Wands energy is getting stronger now, and it's fascinating how he's working with this Queen of Pentacles energy. While he's all about passion and movement, she's teaching you how to channel that energy in a practical way. Have you been getting these sudden bursts of inspiration lately? Maybe ideas coming to you while you're doing something totally ordinary, like washing dishes or taking a shower. And then there's our King of Swords, who's been this amazing mental guide through all of this. He's helping you put words to these feelings and insights you're having. I'm seeing that some of you have recently found yourselves giving advice to friends or family, and afterward thinking, wow, where did that come from? That's this King of Swords energy working through you, helping you translate your intuitive knowledge into practical guidance. What's really beautiful about all of this is how naturally it's unfolding. You don't have to force anything or try to be anyone other than who you are. These protective energies are simply helping you uncover what's already there. They're like spiritual mentors, each teaching you a different aspect of your own power. Some of you might be feeling this really strongly in your solar plexus chakra, like a warmth or a gentle buzzing sensation. That's your personal power center activating, responding to all this divine guidance. I'm getting such clear guidance about your boundaries too. It's like these three masculine energies are teaching you different ways to protect yourself while staying open to genuine connections. You might notice you're getting better at knowing instantly whether someone's energy is right for you or not. Trust that it's one of your new superpowers developing. And you know what's amazing about this newfound ability to read people's energy? It's actually preparing you for something much bigger. I just pulled the Eight of Pentacles, and immediately I'm getting this incredibly strong message about the skilled spiritual work you've been doing, even if you haven't realized it. You know how sometimes you'll be doing something totally ordinary, like maybe working on a hobby or just going about your day, and suddenly you get these really deep insights? That's exactly what this card is showing me. I'm feeling such a powerful connection between this Eight of Pentacles and the High Priestess we saw earlier. It's like you're quietly mastering something, not just regular skills, but spiritual abilities too. Have you noticed lately that you're getting better at things without really trying? Maybe you're picking up new skills faster, or finding yourself naturally knowing how to handle situations that would have confused you before. The guides are showing me this image of someone carefully crafting something beautiful, but they're saying it's actually about how you're crafting your own energy. It's like you're becoming this master craftsperson of your own spiritual frequency. And that's exactly what's drawing these three protective masculine energies closer. They're responding to your dedication to this beautiful inner work you're doing. You know what's really interesting? Each of these masculine energies we talked about earlier, they're all responding to different parts of your growth. The King of Pentacles we saw earlier, he's drawn to how grounded and practical you're becoming. The King of Swords, he's amazed by how clearly you're starting to see through situations. It's like you're building this perfect foundation for something really special. I keep hearing the numbers 888 or 555. Has anyone been seeing these lately? The guides are saying these numbers are showing up as signs of this mastery you're developing. And it's funny because just as I'm saying this, I'm getting this really clear message about how some of you have recently felt this really strong urge to organize things in your life. Maybe it's your closet, maybe it's your schedule, but there's this pull to get everything just right. The Queen of Pentacles energy we saw earlier is working so beautifully with this Eight of Pentacles. She's like your foundation, your natural wisdom, and now you're building on that with real practical skills. I'm seeing some of you actually teaching others lately, maybe not in a formal way, but people are starting to come to you for advice more often. That's your mastery starting to shine through. What's really beautiful about all this is how natural it feels, right? Like you're not forcing anything. You're just following these gentle nudges to improve things, to learn more, to grow. And these three masculine energies, they're like your spiritual support team, each bringing their own form of protection while you do this important inner work. I'm getting such a clear vision of someone working at a desk or table, totally focused on what they're doing. The guides are saying this represents how dedicated you've been to your personal growth, even if you haven't been calling it that. Maybe you thought you were just trying to better yourself or learn new things, but spiritually, you've been laying the groundwork for something much bigger. And what's really fascinating about this deep inner work you've been doing is how it's shifting everything around you. I just pulled the 10 of Cups, and immediately I'm feeling this wave of pure joy and completion washing over me. You know that feeling when everything just clicks into place? That's exactly what's happening in your energy field right now. I need to tell you something really important about these three masculine protectors we've been talking about. Each one of them, they're actually evolving their energy to match your rising frequency. It's like they're all leveling up because you're leveling up. The King of Pentacles energy we saw earlier, he's becoming even more grounded, even more protective. I'm seeing him like this strong foundation beneath you, making sure you feel completely safe while you're going through all these spiritual changes. The Knight of Wands energy is shifting too, becoming more focused, more intentional. Before, this energy might have felt a bit scattered or too intense, but now it's like it's finding its perfect rhythm to match yours. And you know what's really interesting? I keep seeing this image of a torch being carried through darkness, like this night is lighting your path forward. And that King of Swords energy, wow, the wisdom coming through here is just incredible. This protective energy is helping you see things so clearly now. Have you noticed lately that you're just knowing things? Like you'll be in a situation and suddenly you just understand exactly what's going on beneath the surface. I'm getting such strong messages about your living space right now. Have you been feeling this urge to clean everything, to organize, to make everything feel fresh? The guides are showing me that this isn't just regular spring cleaning energy. This is you literally making space for these new energies to come in. And those vivid dreams you've been having, they're not just dreams. They're messages, they're guidance about these connections forming. The numbers 333 or 777 keep flashing in my mind. These are huge signs of divine protection and spiritual awakening. If you've been seeing these numbers, that's your guides confirming everything we're talking about right now. You're being wrapped in this protective spiritual bubble while all these changes are happening. You know what's really beautiful about this 10 of Cups showing up right now? It's showing me that all of this, these three protective energies, your spiritual growth, these changes you're going through, it's all leading to this amazing sense of emotional fulfillment. But it's not just regular happiness we're talking about. This is soul level joy. The kind that comes from being truly seen and protected on a spiritual level. I'm feeling this really strong urge to tell someone that those random body tingles you've been getting, especially around your shoulders or the top of your head, that's you physically feeling these protective energies around you. Your body is literally registering their presence. Don't be surprised if you start feeling even more of these physical sensations, especially when you're meditating or just sitting quietly. And you know what's really amazing about these physical sensations you're feeling? They're actually preparing you for something much bigger. I just pulled the World card and immediately got chills all over my body. This is huge confirmation of everything we've been talking about with these three protective masculine energies. The World card is showing me this beautiful dance happening in the spiritual realm right now. These three protectors we've been discussing, they're actually working together in perfect harmony. Think about it like a triangle of protection around you, each one holding their own special corner of your spiritual space. Have you been feeling lately like things are somehow coming together, even if you can't explain exactly how? I'm getting such a clear message about timing right now. Someone needs to hear this. You've been wondering if you missed your chance with something important, but Spirit is showing me that actually these apparent delays were divine protection. Those opportunities that seem to slip away, they weren't really meant for you. These three protective energies were actually guiding you away from paths that wouldn't have served your highest good. I'm seeing the number 333 so strongly right now. It keeps flashing in my vision. If you've been seeing this number, it's absolute confirmation that these three protective energies are with you. And there's something about the number 888 too. That's about abundance and protection in your material world. These numbers aren't just random. They're like spiritual timestamps marking this important period in your journey. The guides are showing me something really interesting about your dreams lately. Have you been having dreams about three different people, or maybe three different symbols, maybe three animals, or three different colored lights? These aren't just regular dreams. They're actually your spiritual team making themselves known to you. Some of you might even be waking up at 3:33 in the morning. That's them literally trying to get your attention. I'm feeling this surge of energy around leadership too. Have you noticed yourself suddenly giving advice to people, even in areas where you don't consider yourself an expert? That's because you're channeling these protective energies. The King of Pentacles energy gives you practical wisdom. The Knight of Wands adds passion to your words. And the King of Swords brings clarity and truth. It's like you've got this perfect trinity of guidance flowing through you. There's something really powerful happening with your throat chakra right now. I'm feeling this tingling sensation as I'm telling you this. You're being prepared to speak your truth in a bigger way. Some of you are literally finding your voice, maybe starting to share your spiritual experiences with others for the first time. These three protective energies are creating this safe space for you to step into your power. The World card is showing me that all of this, every single piece, is coming together in perfect divine timing. You might have felt pulled in different directions lately, maybe even a bit overwhelmed by all the changes, but that's because you're in this massive integration phase. It's like all these different parts of your spiritual journey are finally clicking into place. And you know what's really fascinating about this divine timing? Just as I'm talking about everything clicking into place, I'm being guided to pull another card. The Seven of Pentacles is showing up, and wow, the energy shift I'm feeling right now is incredible. This card is all about seeing the first signs of growth, about watching your spiritual seeds start to bloom. But there's more to this than just waiting for results. And I'm getting such a clear message about these three protective masculine energies we've been discussing. Each one of them, the provider, the passionate protector, and the intellectual guide, they're all investing in your spiritual growth in different ways. It's like they're tending to different parts of your garden, if you will. And I know some of you have been feeling this deep in your gut. Maybe you've been surrounded by people who remind you of these energies, or maybe you've been dreaming about teachers or guides lately. The provider energy, which we saw earlier with the King of Pentacles, is shifting in such an interesting way. At first, they were showing up as someone who helps with practical matters, but now they're revealing this deep spiritual wisdom. Some of you might have noticed someone in your life who usually gives practical advice, suddenly starting to share deeper, more spiritual insights. That's not a coincidence. That's this energy evolving. And that passionate protector energy from the Knight of Wands, they're carrying something really special, ancestral healing wisdom. Have you been feeling drawn to learn about your family history lately? Or maybe you've been thinking about healing old family patterns. That's this energy at work. They're not just here to protect you physically. They're helping you heal generational wounds. The intellectual guide shown by the King of Swords is going through their own transformation. They're moving beyond just sharing knowledge. They're becoming a spiritual teacher for you. Some of you might have noticed you're understanding complex spiritual concepts more easily lately, or maybe you're having these amazing aha moments about your life purpose. I'm getting such strong chills right now because the guides are showing me that a big truth is about to surface about one of these connections. Pay attention to your dreams this week, especially if you keep seeing the numbers 3333 or 777. These numbers are like cosmic timestamps, marking important moments in this unfolding story. Your soul knew about these three energies long before your conscious mind did. That's why some of you have been feeling pulled to certain places or people without understanding why. Maybe you've been getting these random urges to clean your space or organize things. That's you subconsciously preparing for these higher vibrational connections to fully enter your life. This Seven of Pentacles energy is showing me that all of this spiritual investment is about to pay off in a big way. These three protective energies are actually working together to prepare you for a major spiritual advancement. It's like they're each holding a different piece of a sacred puzzle. And as they come together, you're going to experience this beautiful awakening. And speaking of spiritual awakening, I'm being called to pull another card right now. The star card just came forward and the energy is absolutely incredible. This is such divine confirmation of everything we've been talking about. The star represents this beautiful moment of enlightenment, of finally seeing the bigger picture of why these three protective energies have been gathering around you. You know, it's really interesting because some of you have been feeling extra sensitive lately. Maybe you've been picking up on other people's emotions more than usual, or you've been having these really vivid dreams that feel important, but you can't quite remember them when you wake up. That's because your spiritual awareness is expanding. You're becoming more tuned in to these three distinct masculine energies that have been supporting you. I'm getting such a clear message that these aren't just random spiritual connections. They're specifically chosen protectors who each bring something unique to your journey. Think about it. Have you noticed lately that you're getting advice or support from three different kinds of people? Maybe one person always gives you practical, down-to-earth guidance about money or career. Another might be the one who fires you up, gets you excited about your dreams. And then there's that person who makes you think deeply, who challenges your mind in the best way. The star card is showing me that you're about to have this amazing aha moment about these connections. Some of you might have already started feeling it, like when you're meditating or just sitting quietly, and suddenly you get this feeling of being watched over, protected. That's not your imagination. These energies are very real and they're becoming more apparent in your conscious awareness. I'm seeing something really specific. Some of you have been rearranging your living space lately or feeling the urge to clear out old stuff. That's because you're literally making space for these new spiritual connections to fully enter your life. And I keep hearing the word choice. It's so important to know that while these protective energies are here to support you, you're still in complete control. You're the divine feminine center of this spiritual dynamic. The star card is also showing me that some of you have been seeing lots of signs lately. Maybe repeating numbers like 333, or you keep finding feathers in unexpected places. These are like little breadcrumbs leading you toward understanding these connections better. But Here's the really beautiful part. You don't have to figure it all out at once. Just like the star card shows this woman pouring water both on land and into the pool, you're learning to balance your practical understanding with your spiritual intuition. I'm getting such strong chills because I can feel how these three protective energies are starting to work together in your life. It's like they're creating this perfect triangle of support around you, but they're doing it in a way that's not overwhelming. They know you need time to recognize and understand each of their roles. Some of you might be feeling drawn to write things down lately, like you suddenly want to start a dream journal or write about your daily experiences. That's your soul trying to help you piece together these connections. Right now, I'm being shown this image of a beautiful garden with 3 different types of flowers growing together. Each one needs different care, different amounts of sun and water, but together they create this perfect harmony. That's exactly how these 3 protective energies work in your life. Each one supports you in their own unique way, but together they help you bloom into your fullest potential. But remember, while these protective energies are powerful, they're here to enhance your own power, not replace it. You're still the one in charge of your spiritual journey. Think of them like spiritual mentors who each bring their own wisdom, but you're the one who decides how to use that wisdom in your life. You're the one who decides how to use that wisdom in your life. And right now, the World card is coming forward to show us exactly how these 3 protective energies are creating this perfect circle of support around you. I'm feeling such powerful completion energy here. It's like everything we've been talking about with the Empress energy, that magnetic, divine, feminine essence that's been drawing these protectors to you. It's all coming together in this beautiful way. You know, it's funny because some of you have been feeling almost overwhelmed lately, like you've got too many people trying to give you advice or support. But what I'm seeing with the World card is that each of these 3 energies has their own perfect place in your story. Remember that King of Pentacles energy we saw earlier? He's that steady, grounding force, the one who helps you feel secure and protected in the physical world. Some of you might be noticing this showing up as random financial advice or career opportunities coming your way. And then we have that fiery Knight of Wands energy. He's been showing up as that passionate protector, the one who makes you feel excited about life again. Maybe you've been feeling more creative lately or suddenly getting these bursts of motivation to try new things. That's his influence, encouraging you to spread your wings while making sure you're safe to do so. The King of Swords energy is fascinating because he's your intellectual protector, the one who helps you see things clearly. I'm getting such a strong message that some of you have been having these really deep conversations lately, or maybe you're finding yourself giving surprisingly wise advice to others. That's because this protective energy is helping you tap into your own wisdom. I keep seeing the number 333 floating in my vision while I'm looking at these cards. If you've been seeing this number, it's a huge confirmation that these 3 protective energies are really working together for you. And I'm hearing so clearly, the student becomes the teacher. Some of you are starting to notice that you're naturally taking on these protective roles for others, almost without thinking about it. You might have been feeling this urge to clean up your living space or reorganize things lately. That's because you're literally making room for all these different types of support to come together in your life. It's like you're creating this sacred space where all these energies can work together harmoniously. The World card is showing me this beautiful image of you in the center with these 3 protective energies dancing around you in perfect balance. None of them is trying to overpower the other. They each know their role. I'm hearing divine timing so strongly right now. Everything you've been through with past relationships, all those patterns you've noticed, it was all preparing you for this moment of understanding. Some of you might be starting to have these really vivid dreams or getting strong gut feelings about certain people or situations. That's your intuition getting stronger, helped by these protective energies. They're not here to tell you what to do. They're here to help you trust your own inner wisdom more. It's like they're creating this safe space for you to really step into your power. And now the Hierophant comes forward, and I'm getting such powerful confirmation about everything we've been discussing. This card is showing me exactly how these 3 protective energies are working together in divine harmony for your highest good. You know, it's so interesting because as I look at this card, I keep hearing the student becomes the teacher over and over. Some of you have been feeling almost overwhelmed lately by all these different types of support and guidance coming in. But what I'm seeing so clearly is that this trinity of protection, the grounded King of Pentacles, the passionate Knight of Wands, and the wise King of Swords, they're actually preparing you for a really important leadership role. Each one is helping you develop a different aspect of your spiritual gifts. I'm seeing this beautiful image of you standing in your power, surrounded by this perfect triangle of protection. Each masculine energy is like a different facet of a crystal, reflecting back different aspects of your own wisdom. The King of Pentacles helps you stay grounded while you expand spiritually. The Knight of Wands keeps that sacred fire of passion burning in your heart. And the King of Swords helps you express your wisdom in ways that others can understand. Some of you might have been wondering why you've been feeling this sudden urge to organize your space, or why you're having these really vivid dreams about teaching others. That's all part of this preparation. You're literally making room for this new level of spiritual leadership that's coming in. You know, I'm feeling so strongly that many of you watching this are natural healers and teachers. You might not see it yet, but these 3 protective energies are helping you step into that role more fully. I keep seeing the number 333 floating around you. It's such a clear sign that this divine trinity of support is real and active in your life. I want you to really pay attention to your dreams in the coming weeks, especially any dreams about teaching or guiding others. These are like little previews of the path that's opening up for you. And don't be surprised if you find yourself giving really profound advice to others. That's your natural wisdom starting to flow more freely. Because this journey you're on is so unique and powerful, I really feel called to invite you to join our soul family here. If you're resonating with these messages, make sure you subscribe to stay connected as we navigate these spiritual waters together. And for those of you feeling called to explore these connections more deeply, I do offer private readings through my Patreon where we can look more specifically at your unique situation and these protective energies in your life. Remember, you're being divinely guided and protected every step of the way. Trust the process, trust your inner wisdom, and know that you're exactly where you need to be right now